let's take a look at what the box is promising us. So here it says that the mouse can do up to 1000 Hz and the DPI range is between 800 to 22,000 DPI. There are 3 separate ways on how you can connect this mouse, and it also comes with a charging dock like the one you can see on the picture. Let us now look at the backside of the box for a more detailed description. Like I mentioned before, you can plug this mouse in via USB-C cable, use the 2.4 GHz dongle, or use Bluetooth. Here it also displays the DPI range. Call me uneducated, but I really don't understand why having 22K DPI is even an option. I play on 1.6K, and in most games that would be considered ridiculously high. If you know the reason for these manufacturers to market these high DPIs, please let me know in the comments. It also has custom specialized software, which is really nice. This is what you would need if you wanted to reprogram your buttons or change the DPI. Here is what's in the box. The mouse itself in a white variant, a dongle. You also get a braided USB-C cable for charging or wired use. This is the charging dock, and as a bonus you get some rubber grips to put on the mouse. And here's some useful paperwork. Let's see what everything sounds like. You, my dear viewer, know exactly what a $30 AliExpress mouse looks like. And you're probably wondering, does this mouse actually deliver everything that was promised on the box? And is there a catch? To answer that question, I used the X11 for 5 days, switching between it and my Logitech Superlight 2 for a better comparison, of course. The build quality of the mouse, honestly, does not feel cheap. And this does not mean that it will hold up as well as my Superlight long term, but it does not feel clunky and doesn't fall apart in my hands, which is already a good start for the price. At first, I tried the mouse as it is. The the tracking seemed fairly accurate, and I did not encounter any issues or inconsistencies. That was good news, but there was a small issue for me personally. This mouse came with some standard PTFE skates that created too much friction to my liking, so I had to tear them off and put on some dot skates from ESP Tiger to work better on my glass mouse pad. And well, after doing that, the mouse became pretty much unusable. Yes, and I actually mean it. I was very surprised by this and had no idea what was going on. After some googling, I found out that this is an LOD issue and is quite common with cheaper mice. LOD stands for lift off distance and refers to the height at which the sensor stops tracking when lifted off the surface. Some mouse manufacturers allow you to change the LOD of your mouse in their software, like Pulsar or Akko. My Logitech Superlight does not have a setting to change LOD, but rather autocorrects itself. When I put the same skates on my Superlight over a year ago, the mouse was able to automatically determine that the lift-off distance changed and the mouse adjusted itself accordingly. Does this mean that I am not able to customize my $30 AliExpress mouse? Well, not really. The simplest solution that I have found is to use a cloth mousepad, like 99% of you already do. Due to the softness of a cloth pad, the sensor is much closer to the surface at all times and works consistently, unlike with a glass or hard pad. So it is an issue for me and some other mouse enthusiasts out there. To be honest, I think that if someone is willing to spend more than $100 on a glass mousepad, they will probably not buy a $30 AliExpress mouse to begin with. So I don't think that this issue will be common, but that's just something to keep in mind. If we ignore all of that, I can say that the experience using this mouse was pretty good. It does feel slightly heavier than my Superlight, which makes sense since this mouse weighs 63 grams, while the Superlight weighs only 60 grams. But I don't think that this is a deal breaker for most people. The buttons feel pretty good thanks to the Huano white dots which is inside. And these are fairly popular and they're liked by many for their light and spammable nature. The mouse wheel is also decent. It is a little more on the stiffer side, but I personally do not care about that. And the mouse does feel center balanced, which is also a good thing. Knowing all of this, you're probably thinking, well, thank you for over-explaining gaming mice to me, Ayainu, but you still didn't tell me whether it is better than a Superlight or a Viper, and if I should buy it. The answer to that is, you're welcome, not quite, and it depends on who you are. This is a good mouse for the price. It does lack some premium features like adjustable LOD, optical switches, and potentially long-term reliability. The software is very basic, and overall, you will not impress any of your Discord friends by owning this. But you have to put it into perspective. If all you do is play FPS games all day long, then I can totally see why you would want to invest in US dollars a month. On the other hand, an average American carpenter would make closer to $4,500 a month. This means that the Razer Viper or Logitech Superlight would cost about 13% of Brazilian salary, while costing an American only 2.9%. Of course, these numbers might not be exact, but I'm using this as an example of when it can make sense to buy a $30 AliExpress mouse. To sum everything up, in my opinion, if you don't mind using a glove pad, if you're a casual gamer, or simply don't have the money right now for something more expensive, buying a $30 AliExpress mouse is a good choice. Don't get me wrong, a better mouse does help a lot, but it will not turn you into a good gamer. To be honest, if you want a truly competitive gaming setup, it will cost you around $2,000 at the low end. And having a good mouse with a low frame rate PC, or a good mouse and a good PC but a 60Hz monitor, will never give you the real advantage that many people are looking for. If you want full experience, you have to pay the full price. And with current prices, you basically have to be a crypto millionaire or an American carpenter, apparently. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, as this helps me make more videos like this for you. If you have any ideas, let me know in the comments below. And if you would like to help me buy more gaming tech for future videos, you can tip me via Ko-Fi in the description of my channel.